In attendance, Mike Bupp, Christina Carr, myself, Tim Pike, Terry Pierce, Nicole Bocek, I got it right? Preston King, and John Strong. Okay. I got one announcement. The next meeting will be June 3rd here, 7 o'clock. And the other thing is, has everyone seen the farmer's recognition sign out front?
I saw that it was installed. I haven't stopped to read it yet.
About a month ago,
Looks great.
right? Looks
Oh, it's
good.
been up there for a month?
Yeah,
My goodness.
Yep.
I was still doing it, yep.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
it
are
looks
we going to have a dedication for that?
Yes, in July. I believe it's July 26th is the date, which will be, it's a Sunday. And Link, with the Fair Access, is working on an invite list. So we'll make sure you guys get invites
All
at
right.
that time.
Okay.
Cool.
Citizens' comments on the agenda items. We're packed tonight. No, anyone have a comment? Okay. Any announcements? Okay, seeing no one wants to make an announcement. Approval of the minutes, March 4th. I believe we were all here in attendance for that.
Yep.
Want to give them a review and then give a motion? Someone write a motion or a second?
I'll make a motion to approve the March 4th meeting minutes.
Okay, we have a motion.
Aye.
Mike Bupp, second.
Keep straight
All right.
notes that way.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
5-0, well, any on, well, you can. Okay, 5-0 and 0, 5-0-0. New business. Okay, recommendations to the town commissioners on the new Parks Board member. I
Yep.
believe we have 3 people, Niles?
Correct. So there are 2 in your packet, Caleb Butler and Tracy Bodo. But I can't remember how to pronounce her last name correctly. Do you remember, Alan?
It is Bedell. It is.
Okay. Along with Ryan Campbell, who applied just a couple of days ago, so it wasn't part of the original packet, but his application and resume I get sent out as a link, and then also you have it.
I have it here if you guys want to review.
They have it, yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alan, did you-
So what I was, what we were discussing before is just doing it at sort of a quote-unquote secret ballot of, if you guys have paper there, if not, we can get paper from the office, to just write down sort of in order, rank them, and then Preston and John, Preston or John, one of them, can collect and count out who has the most votes.
Okay.
And then try to do it that way.
Does Alan get to vote?
Alan does get to vote. What I figured we would do is have Alan send them to me, and then I can communicate them with, or actually Alan, just send it to Preston. Just text them to Preston.
Okay. Perfect.
And then that way, is that okay, Preston? I'm sorry for volunteering you. Very good.
This sounds a little fishy, I don't know. All right.
And so once we get it collected, and then if we have a majority for one, if we don't have a majority for one person, then we eliminate the lowest vote getter and go again.
All right, so we got, I'm just going to put first name.
Sure.
Does Nicole get to vote?
Technically, she does not, since she's a non-voting member. But if she wants to share her views, she can. But
No. You're supposed to rank them.
yep.
Oh, here. What do I, the paper supplier? He didn't vote yet.
Yep. Give him his time.
So if you're ranking them 1, 2,
Three.
3, the lowest vote
Is it 3?
is the winner, right? If you add them all up?
What?
It would be,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
technically, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
I thought you meant like 3 was a low vote, okay.
No, it would be the one with the average placement.
For this committee.
That was way off the cuff. This is like Minnesota or something, you know?
Yeah, I have that one, but isn't that?
The other one should be,
They're inside the packet. Yeah.
Yep, they're page, the applicant's information is sort of the, so 6 and 7 and 8 kind of.
You voted twice?
Thanks.
3 times.
Vote early often. Ellen, you at a graduation?
Yeah, my daughter graduated from Auburn on Saturday. I'm actually,
Congratulations.
down in, thank you, down in Birmingham, so she got her undergrad, and then she'll go get her postgrad at UAB. So we are in the midst of the transition from Auburn to Birmingham, and, that's a story for another day. So, oh, good.
She's not going to wear the.
I'll be down here all week through Saturday, so I have extended it 3 days.
Well, while we're waiting for the tally, I think I found someone to take Nicole's place. Did you
All
guys
right.
look for anyone? Did you find anyone, Nicole? I know you've been busy.
Yeah, I've talked to 2 sophomore girls and then a junior boy, but the only issue is that they don't drive. So 2 of them live in Germantown, and then one of them said that they have sports. So they're kind of,
Okay.
they're interested, but they are saying that they have conflicting schedules, unfortunately.
Okay, well, that's being honest.
Yeah,
I'll give you the name, Niles, tomorrow.
just text it and we can, or email or whatever, however you want to do it. And then we can have a conversation with them and see how, if they want to do it.
She's a rising junior, so see what happens.
Who doesn't know how to follow directions?
What?
Can you read me the last names and first names of?
Certainly. So there's Gail Pettigrew Butler, but mainly Gail Butler, Tracy Bodeau, which we talked about, Bodeau, and then I believe it's Ryan Campbell.
Yes.
We went by first names.
We all did.
We went by middle initials, I thought.
We all didn't. I didn't realize we were doing
Did
that.
you text me something or not?
He's muted. Hang on a second. Alan, unmute yourself.
I did, so let me resend it again.
Why is Terry's ballot on a 20, the whole bill?
Oh, damn, it meant to be a 50.
That confused John.
Where's the fireplace? I burned it.
White smoke or?
Yeah.
There we go.
I hear it ding, I hear it
Yep.
ding.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
You guys want to wager?
Over under on.
Preston, there's baby geese
9,
pond.
11.
Which one?
Baby geese in the pond over by. where you-
So Alan, while we're waiting,
Yes.
is your daughter gonna have to burn her stuff,
Little ones.
her Auburn stuff, before she goes to the UAB?
I know.
No, I don't think so. She'll be all right. Look, she had a choice. She could have stayed there, but she has friends that live in Birmingham, and she's like, she didn't want to be on campus all year by herself, so they decided that we were 4 of them decided to come to UAB. So I'm like, all right, pick your battles, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pick your battles, get your, she'll be getting her master's in accountancy, so.
Johnny has the count.
The tally.
All right. The winner was Tracy Badeau.
Okay.
I have to learn how to say that name, huh? Bodo? Tracy wins.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pick Jeff Eck.
It would be nice if this pen worked. Okay. So do you guys want to want to make a formal motion to do that to the commissioners, so that Alan will then relay that to the commissioners.
All right. Motion, guys.
I move that we nominate Tracy Badeau for the Parks Board member.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
4? You can vote. Okay. 5-0-0, yep. All right. Is that good
Perfect.
enough?
Yep, that's perfect. And so at the May 18th meeting, Alan we'll put it on the agenda, but Alan will do it as part of his announcements from the Parks Board. Yeah. And then they'll vote on it, and then we'll invite her to the June meeting. And we'll talk about that meeting a little bit later.
Should be our note taker.
Well, she's replacing our note taker, I think.
Yeah.
That's
That's
Yeah.
Axe.
That's right,
What's
yeah.
going on in here? Johnny, or,
Lock the,
what's the, Wi-Fi guest password here?
Oh, it's, let's see.
Hi.
John?
Not Valerie Dickerson. I think that's the,
Me.
Yeah.
utility 11,
John, in your seat, right there should be, the password.
Oh, all right, got it. Thank you. Could I
There we go.
ask-
She got it. It's all
that
good.
was Valerie interrupting our meeting. All right,
Yeah, she saw a microphone that was
next,
turned on.
yeah.
She couldn't help
She
herself.
saw a camera. Discussion of motor scooter and e-bike safety.
So, Alan and I have been having various conversations around this topic, so I'm going to say a couple of things. Then we'll have Alan do his spiel as well. As you may know, there's been recent concerns from residents about the use of motorized scooters and bikes, especially e-bikes, on town streets, in neighborhoods, and on sidewalks. The town currently does not allow motorized vehicles on town trails, and signage is posted at some of the trails reminding residents of the trail rules. The town commissioners and staff have been in conversation with the Montgomery County Police regarding this issue. They want to pursue going through the schools for educational materials. They're also going to, through the Department of Natural Resources, I think it is, with the state, is going to have some safety information at Springfest, or it had at Springfest, and is going to share that further with us. And then the state also shared us the e-bike link that is in the memo, and we can share that more widely going forward. But part of this discussion, and Alan will go into more, is just kind of, one, raising the issue, two, having a conversation about what we need to do, and then continuing the conversation with the police and others as time goes on. So I'll let Alan go
And
from here.
Before you guys get started.
Yep.
Besides the e-bikes, a third of the bikes that are running are actually gasoline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not just a e-bike, it should
Yeah.
be underage motorized vehicles.
Yeah.
Not just the e-bike problem.
Mhm.
You got them little 50 scooters and the gas ones, and they are tearing apart.
Yep.
stuff. They're chasing birds.
Driving on trails, driving on
trails,
sidewalks.
The whole thing.
Yep.
So, I think limiting to e-bikes, I think that's bad. We gotta
Yeah.
get to motorized, underage motorized vehicles.
Right. And I sort of use the phrase motorized scooters, bikes, and e-bikes.
What about golf carts driven by adults on trails?
That is also not allowed on the trails. We've had this issue before.
We tackle that too?
But that is another thing that we've wanted to sort of communicate about as well. Was there something else you're going to say, Preston?
No, I just wanted to make sure that, when you write it up or finalize
Yeah.
it, to include
Yes.
gas-powered scooters. I was over at the middle school pond today, and they were running up and down the hill, and they were gas-powered. There were 5 or 6 of them that were
Yep.
on, the regular old school dirt bikes or whatever, the little 50s and stuff like that. So there's a
Yep.
group of them, and so I just want to make sure our verbiage is correct when we
Mm-hmm.
approach, however we want to handle it.
Yes, I agree.
And
Yep.
after Alan speaks, I want Mike Bupp to talk about being a retired police officer, how they would handle it.
there we go. So actually, like Mel just said, absolutely had a lot of conversation with our commander, Jordan Satinsky, and some other sergeants that are in our district that represent us. I live over in Hunter's Run, so I know the 12 to 15 kids that I congregate at one of the house, and then they take off after school. Obviously, they really don't follow the stop signs whatsoever. I mean, their cars are an issue, especially in Westerly, just popping through Hughes. And ironically, the kids are the ones that are going from Hughes over Westerly into Hughes again. So eventually something's going to happen. We're trying to prevent it. The police officers I know have talked to the elementary schools and the middle school already, and given out some information to the principal to hand out to the students about that. Obviously, school isn't let out yet, so come June, whatever the date is, 16th, 18th, I'm sure we're going to see a lot more people throughout the day. Preston and I definitely have spoken about kids on bikes, scooters, motorized mini bikes, so on and so forth. I have a seminar that actually a few of our commissioners are going to be sitting on May 21st with the police and Maryland Department of Transportation to go over new laws that haven't become laws yet, and to whatever else for the county enforcement is relative to the safety and the protocols for the bicyclists and bike guys. I mean, we know the paths are being used by women and kids and strollers and so on and so forth. So we're just trying to prevent anything from happening, be proactive and not reactive. Obviously, the June 3rd meeting, I'll have my update after my meeting and my seminar, but I have been in probably 2 or 3 times a week speaking with our force about this. And again, we have our bicycle police that'll be coming back into town a little bit more in the optics. So I'm sure they'll have plenty of run-ins with the youth. Again, practice safety, practice the law, and, they got to be respectful. And that's the only thing I'm asking. I love the kids and being out and being outside away from the digital media and the games and the consoles and being outside in the environment and enjoying themselves, but you got to be, and just be respectful. But until I'm having on the 21st, it's supposed to be like a 2-hour seminar, so it should be pretty good. And then, obviously in June, Niles and I and a bunch of the commissioners will be, and all the commissioners, I should say, will be down in the city MML conference, and I know there's already at least one seminar session with the exact same topic. So it is a hot topic right now around Montgomery County. I think you guys have probably seen some of the articles in Bethesda. A couple weekends ago, there was like 60 bikes downtown Bethesda at one time, all over the place. Actually, somebody got hit. But again, we're trying to prevent the mass influx of the e-bikes in town personally. But again, I'll have much more detailed information once I have all of the seminars and the meetings and the conversations I have with our law enforcement.
And just as a note on that also, at the meeting on May 18th, the commissioners meeting, the Montgomery County Police are introducing their new Central Business District team, which will be a lieutenant, a sergeant, and 2 officers. I think one of them is corporal, so it's technically one of each, and then an officer, who will be in downtown, Central Business District, in Poolesville, in downtown Rockville, are their 2 priority areas that they will be doing. So they're going to be here, and so, I'm sure this topic will come up as part of those discussions as well with the officers that are going to be in town. So that's just another note as well. And it's a public meeting, all are welcome, and the police also want business owners and things like that to come, where there's been hot spots before, Dollar General, McDonald's and such. So we're trying to have people there for that conversation as well.
Kids got to understand, I know I've seen several, no helmets, so they got to follow, again, that's a law of Maryland, they have a helmet, it's considered a motor vehicle, no matter if it's neat or not. So, and same way with a bicycle, it's a helmet law. So, they got to follow procedure, and again, safety, safety, safety.
Okay. Thank you, Alan.
You're welcome.
Is that seminar open to everyone or just the commissioners?
You know what? I'll have to find out. I'll dig out the email, Tim, and see what they have. I know it came through commissioners and some of the other, it actually came through me, through the DNR and some of the Parks Board that I sit on as well. But if I can get the link, I'll send it to you so you can just take a look at it.
Please, thank you.
I mean, I you guys should be able, if you can attend, and I gotta see, you know what, if I can find it, I'll send out, to everybody.
That's a Thursday, 21st?
Yeah, I believe it is yes, because the 18th is the Monday, so yes.
And go back to the 18th, Tom Kettler invited all the business community
Correct.
to that meeting
Yep.
too.
And that was at the police's behest. They wanted the chamber there, so I communicated with Tom to have businesses there and residents. I mean, once we get a little bit closer to it, we'll tell people, hey, come meet the officers that will be in Poolesville. So it's an encouragement to have as many people there to kind of, touch and feel and learn kind of like what's going on, and how this will, how this level of support will be used in town, so.
Okay. Discussion? Mike?
I mean, they've kind of pretty much gone over, the police have the advantage of being able to enforce stuff. Which obviously it would be very difficult for the town to be able to enforce anything. So hopefully, I'm sure it sounds like they're gonna support our needs out here with that as much as possible. But other than that, education, whatever we can do to, I think, to
And I think
make sure the parents know and the kids know what is accepted and what's not. I mean, I think that's probably about right now as much as we can do.
And that reminded me of one thing. Thanks, Mike. I'd sent out over the last month or so various pedestrian, bike safety, and other safety tips. I'm going to make all of that information a permanent page on the website, just so that it can be a resource that people can reference back to, just so that it's there and we can put up whatever we get from, we already got the stuff from DNR, which is the link that's in your packet, but like if the police end up issuing more tips or guidance or things like that, we have a place to house it on the website. So that was the other thing I was going to mention.
All right, Christine?
Is it possible for us to require the parents to register
So,
e-bikes, motor scooters within the town? Well, I mean, then,
Good idea, but.
because
Yeah.
then at least somebody's in, if they can get, if the parents can be fined, if the
Yeah.
bike,
so that, I think that's a more complicated one because that goes to questions like police powers and such, where I think, it's potentially possible, but we'd have to really seriously look at how we're doing it because, we tend to try to stick to what is within our general jurisdiction. So code enforcement tends to be around zoning and around livability and a couple of specific things.
Mm-hmm.
If we required them to register, we would have to maintain that registration. Mm-hmm. And then if there's a violation, if it was ours, we would have to enforce it. And that can be a little bit tricky. We don't have a full-time code enforcement officer. Mm-hmm. We can't perform traffic stops, none of those things that would be a police power. So that's where it gets a little bit trickier, versus I think this is a good question to raise with the police, right? What would they want us to do and what can they do? Is there a registry? Or is there any talk of having a registry for these type of things? Might be something to look at as well.
well,
In California, there's a case right now, a young person driving one of those e-bikes killed a pedestrian. The mother is looking at jail time because she bought the bike and did not regulate the son's whereabouts and where he was driving.
In California?
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting.
She's looking like a 15 or 20-year manslaughter or whatever. I mean,
Yep.
but apparently the police had confiscated one bike. She went ahead and bought him another bike,
Wow.
and then he went out and ran a veteran over and killed him.
oh my goodness.
So that's,
Yeah.
parents don't understand. They're also illegal. They almost hit Charlie Glass, who's 93, 96 or something like that. You run somebody over, an old person like that, they're going into the nursing home.
Right.
But right now, he's still independent. Go ahead and run him over. His life is absolutely changed instantly.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Well, I think the information to the kids as much as possible, like a flood of it constantly, as like, a huge marketing campaign is something that will be helpful, because they do, especially like slightly pre-middle school and into middle school, they're very impressionable. They will hold on to that, and that lasts. So,
Personally, as a parent, there's no way I would have my sons on an e-bike and turn them loose. I'm
Nope.
just saying, there's no way in the right mind you turn a child loose on a motorized vehicle.
On the
They
streets.
barely get motorized vehicles, 16 years old.
Yeah.
You get it's no different.
We had to take a
I don't
class to
understand.
learn how to-
There's no difference between a car and these things. And you want to have an 8, 9-year-old kid?
it stops my heart every time I see them go on the street.
I think the parents need to be made aware.
Yes,
And there's like little gangs driving around, you know?
yeah.
It's like in costumes.
But,
I
yeah.
just find it amazing that, people would just even have put their kids at such risk. And the person who ends up running them over, kills them, it's destroyed their life, even if they're not even in the wrong.
Right,
You go ahead and run a little person over, your life would never, your mentally would never be the same.
Guilt parenting, you know?
Hmm?
It's guilt parenting, you know? It's,
Mhm.
I feel bad, I'm gonna give my kid this.
Yeah.
Very possible. But it's gonna happen this summer, I guarantee you.
Yeah, someone's gonna get hurt, unfortunately, but hopefully not.
yeah.
Well, at least we're being proactive about it.
There's no information really given at the schools either about e-bike safety or electric scooters or anything like that. And there's a lot of commuters that come to school with those kind of vehicles.
E-bike?
Yeah, to the middle schools and to the high school. They're parked outside of the school, and there's like plenty of them, but they don't really say anything or regulate that. They just let kids go.
And that's partially why the police wanted to work that angle, and we can follow up with them and see, as Alan said, they've tried to give out materials to the middle school and in the elementary school. I do think the high school is actually, where there's probably the most of them, I would imagine, just given the population and the age. But, that's another angle to kind of go through it. And so sharing the information and do it that way. Yep.
And you have to, and people have to, I know a couple of weeks ago when I spoke with MCPD, even though we see it, nobody reports anything, so they have 0 reports for town residents right now, or as of like a week and a half ago, before I left.
Yeah.
So if you see something, just 311 it and be like, hey, can you send somebody out? Or if they're really being negligent, obviously call 911. But again, they need to have data that warrants their reason to come out. So please, if you see something that's, grossly negligent, not a nuisance per se, but again, it's gotta be documented so they can actually send the trooper out for a specific reason.
All right, anything else? John Strong, you got anything? Everyone good? Yeah. All right. Discussion on outdoor fitness equipment.
Yeah. So basically, we've had we were approached. The town was approached by the National Fitness Campaign about the possibility of partnering with them to do sort of this outdoor fitness court. And they do grants. They're not the only organization that does, but they do grants that go along with these courts. Now, these courts are very expensive. The main court, the fitness court, is like $200,000. The studio court, which is the even larger one, is like $275,000. So part of why I sort of brought this up, and I'll get to sort of other things that came from this conversation in a moment, but was just to get your guys' sense of how much interest there would be in doing something like this. And then secondly, is this the type of appropriate thing, or do we want to look at other alternatives, such as adding specific fitness equipment? For example, a discussion I had with Alan was about fitness equipment for seniors, maybe more focused thing than something like this. But I figured it was a good point to have a conversation and to talk about other grant opportunities. It's also important to note that we already have outdoor fitness equipment at a couple of our parks. So we have ones at Perkins Park, we have a few at Helmos, and which was an Eagle Scout project, right, Preston?
Yep, Stevens Park.
Yep, and at Stevens as well. So we already have some, and so, whether there's a need or not, and and if there is a need, do we want to go with something like this, or do we want to look at more specific, again, senior type equipment, maybe specific types of equipment that we want to either supplement what we already have, or look at other things. So what staff is sort of looking at from this is just having a discussion and seeing what people feel like, and seeing how we want to pursue it. So I've had 2 meetings with these people, but we're in no way looking at necessarily pursuing this grant unless we view there's a need, or this is the type of thing that we want to do. Because we'd probably to fund it, we would have to go and do something like the Parks and Playground grant that we've done for other things, which we'll talk about later. But that was sort of the overview of the discussion. I included a few more details in the memo about size of the court, and I included some pictures and some of that cost breakdown. But I really wanted to get people's feedback about this and how they view it. So,
Is our
questions, ideas?
Is our
go.
present equipment, right now, is it being used, Preston?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it's more educating people to,
The simplest ones are over at Stevens Park, to
Yep.
get out of wood. Constantly people doing sit-ups, doing a pull-up. You don't have to get fancy.
Right.
You just give them what they want.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of, there's a couple ones over at Stevens, they get a workout constantly.
Mhm.
I'm out of Perkins, I can't, I don't see that.
Yeah, and I do that path sometimes and walk, and I see people doing a few of them. There's again sit-ups, push-ups.
We're a very mobile town now. Our
Yeah.
trails-
Yeah.
And the athletic courses are tied into our trails, which is not, they're not
Yeah.
isolated. They're-
Right.
You're traveling at one of our bike trails, you go right behind the equipment, so it's there, right where it needs to be.
I think it's a good idea, but I don't think we should spend 200,000.
Right.
Yeah.
maybe
And then
do
we'd
it
have
on
to
our
find a
own.
place to put it.
Is there,
Yeah.
Exactly, have a lot of.
Exactly,
Yeah.
38 by 38, foot thing. So this might not be ideal, but I figured it was a good starting point to have this discussion.
I certainly think improving on what we have if we need to, for sure.
And educate people
Add
that's
a
there.
little more, yeah.
So Niles, the studio is 38 by 38, or the,
I believe that's, let me double check that. Now you have me. Because I think let me see if I can find that.
is there a compelling reason to go with them? Like, is there some benefit we get through participating in this program other than just the piece of the grant, or?
Right, it's mainly the grant funding as far as I'm concerned. So this program is more geared, I would argue, is more geared towards larger communities than ours. So like what they do, what they would normally do is they go out and they find, like, sometimes they'll find corporate sponsors to do with this. Sometimes they find like instructors that will do classes. That's what the studio, the studio one does. So you can have your Zumba classes, all of that kind of stuff, as well as part of it. And so I'm just going to see. Sorry, yes, so the studio is 38 by 73. The fitness one is 38 by 38. So the smaller one is 38 by 38. The bigger one is the studio is 38 by 73. Thank you for clarifying that, Terry. But yeah, it seemed to me that the main use would be in a place that had a lot of people, had corporate sponsors potentially, and had a fitness infrastructure that would be ready to use it. And I'm not sure we have all of those things here necessarily, although we do have people who do fitness classes, and we do have the seniors who do their programming. So it might create an opportunity to do that. But we're also going to have the community center eventually that will also provide those indoor opportunities. So it's just looking at what makes the most sense to us. Just sort of the sense that just in terms of looking at it.
I mean, this seems extremely overkill for us. Yeah.
I agree, and that's why, I just wanted to present, one, that I'd have these conversations, and two, just sort of get people's feedback, just so that I wasn't sort of a check on what we were doing and what I was thinking.
But I do like the idea of like a designated class space, like, it doesn't have to be this big, but, so people could get together and do Tai Chi or, just do their Zumba class.
Yeah.
I've seen Zumba classes over in the Stevens Park Pavilion.
Right, exactly.
So-
Yeah. hmm And we can look at, maybe there's a cheaper way of doing something like that, or designating a spot.
Yeah.
We can see how that goes. All right.
So we're gonna look into something.
Yes, we'll look into, and we'll come back with different options if we want to look in different directions. Again, the senior one is one that I want to explore a little bit more. There's specific equipment that we want to gear towards seniors, or what, and maybe engaging Maria and them and seeing what they think would be a good idea as well.
More
Yeah, that's a
pickleball
great
courts.
idea.
Ellen, what do you think?
Well, the reality of it is seniors are critical. We have a lot more, as Niles was saying, we do have more grant opportunities for the seniors. It just happens to be the state is going that way. Pickleball courts, remember, we had to reduce a couple of pickleball courts because we had too many that was too close together, and we were getting complaints about that. So, it's a process. Niles knows this. There's money out there. We always have to be one of the ones first to the table. And I'm glad that we have the people that we have within the commission and the Parks Board, because in reality, we jump on these opportunities as fast as anybody, including Rockville, Gaithersburg, all of them and the relationships that we have that we can work with our delegates and our county council member that we have relationships with. So the one problem that I know that we have is access, an area that we can enlarge and make these different options available. We also have obviously a schedule of maintenance and new projects coming up. And we have that master plan, obviously Preston and Niles and Wade have a better understanding of that. But a lot of moving parts, and we all know, and I'll get back into it with my commissioner report, basically with the fiscal year 27 budget going on and the daily barrage of emails and texts and funding options that are being eliminated or funded appropriately. But it's a very fluid situation down county right now with the council, with the public hearings. They had to trim $458 million out of the budget, and they're just trying to take certain funds away from different projects, and it's not going to be popular with a lot of people. But again, I think it's a consensus of the council members knowing that Mark's position on taxing everything is not going to come. It's no council members want a tax increase or income tax increase. So, first time in a while that Montgomery County is facing actually pretty substantial funding options for everything, including what we're discussing with the senior and the grants and the spending on it. So, unfortunately, everything gets more expensive every year and not less. So, I don't know. It's a lot of conversations behind closed doors that we're having just to make sure Poolesville stays relevant in so many circles, because it's a unique town. We don't ask for much. But when we do ask for it, it's more money than they anticipate. But again, I can argue at a point where you've neglected us for 20 years and now you're going to pay us. So we pay our taxes just as much, if not more, than anybody else. So we'll see. I know I just went off on a late tangent, but I'll circle back with the commissioner report on some of this stuff.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, so I have two commissioner liaison reports. That was one. They'll finish up with a second.
All right. Outdoor fitness equipment, okay, everyone's good with that? All right. Scheduling of a tour of town parks. Next meeting, 6 o'clock, we'll meet where, Niles?
So we're going to pause before that because Alan can't make he will be virtual for that meeting as well.
But you can take me with you if you want. I mean, that's fine.
I could hold it around the screen and show you as we go.
So, July?
But we could either do it, so either we could do it at the June meeting, if that works for everybody else, or we could do it at the July meeting, if that's what the preference is. So that's number one. Number two is my plan was to meet at Dillingham first. Because my thought was we could talk about how that site is going to change when the community center gets built, sort of just discussing through, and you can kind of visually get a sense, a little bit of the space and how that's going to change, because that's sort of the next biggest change to a town park is kind of going to be that. And then from there, we'll look at a few of the parks nearby, so going to, like Brooks and Campbell, and sort of that area. And then if there's time, we go to Hoeing, which is, again, the least, has the fewest parks, equipment on it and things like that. But it's also an area, Preston and I have talked about this before, there is an opportunity to maybe add something there in the future if we wanted to, depending on how we decide to go. So that was sort of my thought on the parks and where we wanted to go.
Okay.
But I'm open to other suggestions or something else we want to do.
Where is Hoeing Park, the one at Bud River?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Someone wants a basketball court over there.
Yeah, it's not the most traveled part of town since there isn't a bunch of people over there,
We'll
but
make it a travel.
yeah.
We'll put
Some
something
sidewalks over there, and then I think,
Yeah, and then we did talk about that when we did the trail stuff, so there's those opportunities as well.
Okay, 6 o'clock, you want June 3rd without Alan,
Yeah.
or you want to do it in July?
It's up to you guys, it's how you guys feel.
What's the date on the July meeting? Anyone have a-
It'll be July 8th
Oh,
is the
okay.
date.
I think I'll be out of town.
I think I'll be.
Yeah.
I probably will be out of town.
Alright, so I
Would you
think
be
it's,
mad if you didn't go?
Nope, I can visit these parks anytime, and I actually probably do. So
Yeah.
you guys can do your thing, and if you have any questions,
We can videotape
No.
everything.
exactly.
absolutely.
get him a little robot and put
All right.
his camera in there.
June 3rd it is?
Yeah.
6
At
o'clock?
6.
Dillingham.
Okay.
Okay. Weather permitting, right?
Weather permitting, yes. If we're in another tornado, then maybe not, but
John, will you be there?
Negative.
Negative. Why
Nope.
not, John?
This is my last Parks Board meeting.
Ah,
You're retiring. Yeah, how come you gotta ruin my, I'm not saying nothing now. I'm gonna just tie it in. He's leaving.
okay, all right, I'm sorry. All right, so we're good on the June 3rd, Dillingham Park, 3 o'clock. All right.
6 PM,
What'd I say?
3 o'clock.
Dragon back.
California time.
There you go.
3 o'clock.
Probably June
June
3rd,
3rd.
6 PM.
yeah, 6 PM. Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, sorry. All right, old business. The bike pump track. I don't know, I looked at it, I talked to Preston about it. Sorry Kathy, ma'am, I'm not a big fan of it. It looks like something that was an add-on, looks like a lot of maintenance. Will it be used? Where are we gonna put it?
Yeah.
I'll throw those things out there. Alan, what do you think?
Well, you hit on a lot of things. I mean, obviously, like I mentioned a couple minutes ago, park space,
Yeah,
don't really have much. I mean, what the soccerplex bike pump track has down there is ample space, plus the fact that they have one pump track there, which ironically, when I was there, kids were using it during the day. So kids weren't that old, but it was unique to use. However, the normal track that they have there was a lot of adults actually using that through their BMX bikes and their off-road bikes. So
wow.
it was pretty impressive. But again, it really goes back down to we need some park space in order for something like that to exist. And the investment, as we all know, is several $100,000, and it would be, in my instrumental in getting grants. Again, this is going to be, go to all these conferences that I go to, it's a 3 to 5 year look ahead, because it takes that long to apply for grants, to get the funding. And we don't know how much funding. Previous years, we can get a couple $100,000. Moving forward with the optics of the budgets that the state has and it trickles down to us, I think, if we get a $200,000 grant next year, we might get $75,000 grant in 3 years. So it might take a long time in order to fund these pump tracks. Also, the fact that we don't have the land at the end of the day.
Okay.
There's some, Dillingham, I know it's a hot part, but again, where our community center is going to go, so that's out.
Yeah, and that sort of is the limiting factor. I think that the discussion of space is something that I think we'll have, and maybe doing a future meeting, having a discussion about the Parks Board, maybe making a recommendation to the commissioners about future parkland and prioritizing ways, and whether there is or not is a more complicated question, but prioritizing trying to acquire more parkland in some way, just to put that on sort of the long-term radar, as Alan was saying, in a similar fashion.
It seemed like go ahead.
Go ahead.
Seems like the pump track more of the niche thing. Who would use it? I think if we go back to the outdoor fitness equipment, that would be used more than a pump
Yes.
track. So we're
And-
spend our money, we should probably put it there.
Yeah, as an observation, it looks like the pump track is about the same size as the fitness court.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, just based on my rough little estimate I did, I would say that that's correct as
Looks
well.
like it's high maintenance too.
Well, I think
I
yeah,
mean, look, Preston, can you fix that lumber?
well, the material that Kathy Mim had presented, I think, was different than this.
Yeah.
It looked like it was more non-maintenance
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
stuff.
That's more cost upfront, right?
And kids do, I mean, my kids have been on a pump track, they do love it, but space is a major issue, and we'd have to find some way to,
So the county, just as a side note, the county is adding a lot of pump tracks to their parks.
right.
Because they are popular.
I guess I'm behind the times. I don't know. The first time I heard it was 3 months ago, so I guess I gotta get out more.
They put one at, near the Kentlands, in that next
Yep.
neighborhood over.
Yeah,
I think I agree that, if we're having trouble finding a couple thousand square feet to do anything, we really should make sure it's we'll get the most
Desired
use out of it.
yes,
For all
yeah.
the residents.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
So we can still consider it back burner, but
Yeah, but this is a good example of prioritizing, and so we can sort of know where you as the body are, and we as staff can kind of look at prioritizing those things.
well,
So,
2 years ago, we talked about the boulder climbing wall. Where is that?
so that and that runs into a similar issue, which is where are we going to put it? We'd have to get grant funding for that. We've looked into various ways of getting that, but it's again sort of a competing priority thing here, where do we want to, that goes back to, and maybe we'll have a further discussion about this at a future meeting, but how big of a bouldering park do we want also affects the cost and the location, and you have to go through the same list as well. So maybe that's it, that we can bring that back for further discussion on those specific points, just to give you a sense of scale.
Where they build a community center,
Yep,
side of the wall, building, make it a climbing wall.
The side
Now,
of the
being
building?
serious, why not?
Yeah.
yeah,
And
We
we
have
could,
any say in design, why couldn't we put a bouldering wall?
we're gonna look at 3 parks on June 3rd. Maybe we can put one there.
yeah, there we go.
Put it into the building.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that too.
Mhm.
There's some reason why we can't do that.
Yeah, seriously, why not?
Yeah,
You got
I mean-
4 sides on a building, why couldn't you put
Yeah.
a climbing facility or at the community center? It'd
Mhm.
be perfect for it. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's something else to talk about.
I mean, they're still a year away from designing it, so anything that we want to try to talk about, we can talk about, so.
Okay. All right. I got to take a phone call. I think my wife's lost in DC.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
So you take over, guys? I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, we're Parks and
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just me anyway.
yeah.
I'll go over here, see what you need.
Preston, what you got?
Oh, hey, spring's a full thing. Spring Fest was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was no rain.
Gorgeous this
Perfect
weekend.
weather.
Yeah.
Tara did a fantastic job with her decorations. Food vendors, everybody made money. We ran out, had to go get more beer, wine. That's how you know event's good. We started the year off on a great note. That was a really good event, well attended. And it was a great event to start with. That we knocked that off. We have a fishing tournament, not this, I think it's 23rd.
I thought it was the 16th, wasn't it?
I thought it was the weekend before Memorial Day.
That would be the 16th.
Okay.
Is it?
All right, I'll double check that.
We
Yep.
gotta get the date
Sure.
right on that.
25th is the Memorial.
Yeah, so it's the weekend before. What are we doing?
Fishing tournament.
And, then we've got the fishing tournament, coming about. What else is going on? We're in the process of hiring our summer help. It's looking good on that. We finished our salt structure out back, our storage facility. And we also are looking into
You're
adding
still up right now.
several, we want to add.
Sorry about that.
Back here, we already have one storage building. We're going to add another storage building out back because the events are growing and it's for storage of the equipment instead of going from the shop here, we're going to put everything so less times, you don't have to move it, you don't lose it type of thing. So we're going to add one there. We're going to add another storage facility down at the shop for our Christmas decorations, which you guys know that it's grown over the years. And talking about that, so starting Monday next week, we're going to the trees will be not relit, but we're going to put the light bulbs back around Wayland, and then we're changing the lights that are in the middle of town. We're going to take the Christmas one down, and then we're going with a red, white, and blue theme for 250th, 4th of July, and all that stuff that's coming up.
Same.
So you guys will see a change with the lighting in the next 2 weeks. With that, ball fields we haven't been so busy with our baseball fields, which is good. That means we're doing.
It's
a good thing,
Good
yeah.
weather.
There's actually coaches that belong to other organizations. They are scheduling on our fields because they're so good. And it takes a lot of time and money to do it, but my guys take a lot of pride in it. And, once again, people come to our town because it is a nice town.
Are they applying for permits?
Yeah, they got did permit thing.
Yeah.
Do they have to pay a fee to use our fields?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
We talked about
Nothing
it
free
again.
anymore.
Yeah, no, okay.
I'm
happy.
But anyways, it's just really, we're getting a pretty good reputation about our ball fields and everything. And, but there is wear and tear associated with that, especially the soccer fields and stuff like that. I mean, them grass and stuff. It's like we don't have enough, so we can't take one out of service for 6 months type of thing. So we just do our aeration, some seed. And it's doing okay, but it could probably be better if I had, time. And if we could water. But we're water-wise. We do not water any of our sporting complexes on there. So we live and die with the drought. And this is the third summer. And with that being said, our trees, our street trees, that I've probably planted over the last 4 or 5 years, we're going to lose them this summer.
Yep.
I don't care if I put bags or not, because even the older ones are dying or stressed. We actually had a lot of trees that did not leaf out on time. And we got a little bit of rain, they leafed out a little bit, I'm really concerned. Today, we got a little sprinkle. We need a lot of water to save our trees. And so we'll have to see this fall time about replacement. It's going to be probably one of my larger years with the replacement on the trees on that. So that's part stuff. But there is, now John let the cat out the bag. I was going to say, tell you guys that John, it is his last meeting today. It's been a pleasure, John, for the last 20 years. He's been very involved with our park developments, and, with the new bathrooms and everything else, it runs through John. Everything runs through John in the town.
Yep.
That's why he's leaving, we done chased him off.
Thank you, John, for all your help over the years.
Thank you.
But anyways,
Except for the sidewalk, crosswalk.
all the way.
We're not done with the bathrooms, we still have to meet.
Yeah, we got, we got Steve.
Yeah, and that's,
When you, are you,
He's still be active with the town on a much smaller scale, but he won't be participating with,
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll have an engineer at the meetings anymore.
yeah,
I don't think we're leaving that way, are we?
yeah, unless there's something, it will probably be unless there's something that we need.
as needed.
Like, when it comes to the community center, we might have an engineer there while we're discussing, the plans or something like that. But in general, it will be sort of a different setup going forward.
And if I need it, I come in virtually.
Yep. hmm
You done, Chris?
And I'm gonna,
I got a question. Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. No, you first, and then
All right.
I have a few points to add to
I meant to
Preston's
bring this
comment.
up months ago, but the park on West Willard,
Yes,
the practice field,
yes.
the history of that, 20-something years ago, a citizen, Bernie Mim, came to us and said, you got a field here, and he mowed it, fixed it, right, for us? Well, but he helped, I mean, he got it going. Okay, all right, he didn't help, but he brought it to our attention, right?
No, it was him and his brother, because his brother used to be really big into the soccer.
Yeah.
Not his brother,
Yeah, who was-
Wills, Mr. Wills.
Wills, yeah.
Soccer Came in, and then we brought him on board,
Well,
yeah.
he was a big proponent of that field.
Oh,
And we didn't even know about it. Are we ever gonna name that field? And if we do, could we name it after Bernie Mim?
So there's a couple of things to say about that. So one is technically that field is part of the Deo Park. So it's already, they're right next to each other. There's no separation.
Dale
between
Park
the
came
two.
in after the fact, when the development wasn't even thought of.
Right, I'm saying it's all the same complex.
okay.
They're attached to each other. But that being said,
Lack of offense.
that's being said, under the naming policy, generally that's reserved for either people of historical significance or who served on town boards and things like that. So we can discuss, Bernie's contributions, and maybe we can have a further conversation about that on a policy level. But that is the policy that is a part of it. But I appreciate Bernie's connection to that field, and in general his what he's done for the community.
Be the John Strong Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
We put a big arm up
I'm
there.
not going no John Strong.
Thanks for clearing that up. I didn't realize that. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so my two quick things. One is speaking of grants and all of this, we did get $310,000 to redo the Stevens Park bathroom. So that will be, we're gonna, John's working right now on the design of that building with Preston's help. And then we'll be rolling out that to bid and getting that worked out pretty soon. Go ahead.
Does that include the kitchen over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be the whole,
I think this is the third time we've done that since I've been on this board. We've done that.
Well, when we upgraded.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we're doing it, but,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, we upgraded with tools
upgraded.
and stuff, we changed that out years ago.
Mine
And
is-
now we will get a full,
This is a tear down rebuild.
Nice.
yeah.
When's it gonna start?
Once,
I gotta figure out exactly what we're doing.
once we get the design, once we get the design, then we'll go
I
to
know
the
what
construction
materials we're
phase.
building it out.
So it's a couple years out.
Maybe not a couple years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I noticed you waited till I left PAA to do that.
It worked. Thanks.
We had to get to the point under the state grant, you have to have not used a state grant on a park for 20 years. So part of that was figuring out the timing on that. So you can't apply for a grant for the same park twice in 20 years. You can apply for different parks, but not the same one. So part of it is we had to wait.
Wow.
yeah, because I thought we got money for the top lot. Is that that what John is?
Yes, we did, but that was not for, but that was considered separate because it's not, there's two different grants and one does the playgrounds and, yeah. All right, and the other thing I don't remember now, so it's probably not important, so I think we're good.
Mr. Hobbs. Part 2.
I have nothing, I'm just kidding.
All right.
Wow, since we haven't met for a while, I mean, we have been busy. Obviously, we've testified on a bunch of county council funding, projects, including, a community center, which they have earmarked $21.75 million for the community center for fiscal year 27. So design is tentatively scheduled for fiscal year 28, and construction to start fiscal year 29 and 30 is my understanding. So the good thing is, it looks like we are going to be good for at least $21.75 million through the county. In addition to the county, or to the community center, Wamco was down and they had provided testimony. Maria, Poolesville seniors testified. Jim, Link, myself, regarding the pool bubble, I believe we secured another $200,000 with David Ferragamo for the pool bubble. I think we're still saying 2.6 for that.
Yeah, I think it was in that range, and we have, and over the last 2 years, we've accumulated 400,000 from the state. So I think the whole project is roughly around 3 million. I think was the cost estimate we came up with, and so we have that 400,000 from the state already.
Right.
Could that be
So we have that.
Could that be part of a fitness center too? The pool, the bubble.
So that's actually part of what we've discussed previously is doing senior programming at the pool once it has the pool bubble.
Yeah.
In fact, that was part of our application to the state, was to emphasize those type of fitness opportunities. So that is something that part of what we're trying to negotiate with the county is the programming side of things too. What would go in it? Who would staff it? Which is a big issue that the county has in terms of trying to staff the community center and other things like that. So that has been part of the conversation.
So let's see what other big topics. Obviously, our good old White's Ferry is coming down.
With Speedo on. Whistle.
So White's Ferry, we have our $3 million, still $1.5 million from the state, $1.5 million from the county. July 1st is coming pretty quick. We hear progress, we hear stalemate, and I don't know, I'm always a guy with a half-ass full kind of optimist about it. We'll see. Unfortunately, it's a private issue between two landowners, and as soon as we know something, we'll absolutely share it. Obviously, the data center talk, incinerator talk, is a hot topic. I think most of the county council members with the incinerator is shut it down, transport all the waste out of state to Pennsylvania and West Virginia. I think it's $130 million to reline all the incinerator silos and everything else. It's a lot. So I think whoever the next county executive is, who, going back to, we had a county executive forum with 5 candidates. I don't know if that was after our last meeting or right after.
It was after the March meeting, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that was a great turnout. We had 75 people. That was a packed house. Since then, we've had actually at-large. We had 7 county at-large candidates that came out. I think it was April 27th, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was April 27th. Another great turnout of who to vote at-large. Nothing, not a district. Lauren is unopposed right now. So she should retain as our leader for the next few years, next term, I should say. May 11th, we have our Board of Education candidates. That's going to be at Town Hall again. That's May 11th, and I think it's 6 o'clock, Miles, or is it 7 o'clock?
Six.
It's 6:30.
No, 6:30. 6:30 to 8:30. It's always usually a couple hours, so
Yep.
we'll have another good turnout with that. And then May 18th, Miles hit on this earlier, but the Montgomery County Police Department, our District 1 officers will be in. So, feel free to come to that. And another thing is our CAD, our Cultural Arts District public hearings have been, another hot topic, but well attended, well received, and that's why we have public hearings. To get everybody's perspective, residents and business owners. They have another meeting, I think for the May 13th, next week. So come up and educate yourself on what's going on with the Cultural Arts District. It's a lot of moving parts, but it's fluid. Let's see, Town Hall, we talked about Dave Gizardago. We've also, want to thank our delegate, District 15 people, Delegate Foley, Delegate Chi, David, obviously, Senator Feldman, had a meeting, our end of the General Assembly roundtable last month, again, well attended, and going back, data centers were talked about, a lot of stuff going on, zoning, laws, state laws, there's a lot of moving parts with that, so I know there's plenty of Facebook posts and social media posts, not always accurate, but again, there's always a lot of meetings and public meetings for people to attend. Breakfast with Balcom, Marlon's, meetings I think it's like every month on a Friday. Mostly it's in town, either K2 or at the firehouse. It's been the last couple. So it's always good to come out and just, talk to and ask questions. Again, we talked about the farmers recognition plaque. Some great received appreciation by the farming community. I know Jim had met with a bunch of the farmers last week and spoke to them. So when we get that finalized date and time, obviously we'll put that out there. Again, town staff, unbelievable job within town. Tree trimming, mowing, fields are good. It's busy. We had Springfest. Taylor made it through. Weather held off. Unfortunately, I wasn't in town. I was down here, but got a lot of texts and a lot of calls that day. So, I appreciate all the volunteers, everybody that helped, staff, the vendors. We had a great turnout. So every year gets bigger and better. And then at the end, our good old John Strong, rolling out on us, but that's okay. He's a wealth of knowledge, and he's been very appreciative and very supportive of the commissioners, and he's guided me being just 2 years into this exercise, and it goes without saying, but very much appreciated his guidance. So, and that is my brief version of my liaison report.
All right, Alan, I got like 8 questions for you. No kidding.
Perfect. I have answers.
Thank you for all you do. I know you're very busy with the town stuff. Thanks, Niles, for a great.
Of course.
John, thank you for 20-plus years of service to the town.
Pleasure, guys.
We'll work on that crosswalk together.
I'll be gone.
I'm dedicated to you. Right after you leave, I'm going for it. Okay, anyone have anything to add to the meeting?
Don't think so.
Nicole, when is your last meeting going to be?
I think July.
July? Okay, good. All right. Thank you. All right, motion to
Motion to adjourn.
second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, 45000, yeah. We're gone. Oh, Alan, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I am good, yes. Adjourn.
It was the second.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, good night.
Yep, thank you.
Bye, guys.
Night.
Enjoy the bill.
Enjoy the,
Thank you.
congratulations, Dad.
Thank you, thank you. Take care.